Imagine standing literally inches from everything you've ever wanted, only to watch it completely slip through your fingers. Well, that's exactly the situation we're unpacking in today's explainer on Deuteronomy chapter 1. We're dropping right into a massive, totally exhausted nation standing on the very precipice of their promised destiny. The stakes absolutely could not be higher, and the tension? Yeah, it's palpable.
And honestly, this timeline brilliantly captures just how tragically off the rails things went. The actual physical distance from Horeb to the border at Kadesh Barnea, it's a mere 11-day journey. Just 11 days. Yet, we find Moses finally addressing this huge crowd in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the very first day. Think about that. An 11-day road trip somehow turned into a 40-year wait in a brutal wilderness. Like, how does that even happen?
Okay, part 1, sharing the burden. Let's look at what it takes to organize a massive population.
So before everything totally fell apart, Moses was staring down a logistical nightmare. The population had absolutely exploded. They were literally as numerous as the stars of heaven. I mean, you try managing a nation of that size all by yourself. He just couldn't bear the burden alone anymore, so he rolls out this rapid, military-style leadership hierarchy. We're talking captains over thousands, hundreds, 50s, and 10s. He specifically tapped wise, well-known men to judge righteously, making sure they treated the small and great equally, and totally without fearing the face of man, because ultimately the judgment was God's.
Which leads us straight into part 2, panic at the border, and the turning point at the mountain of the Amorites.
Things were actually looking incredibly organized at this point. They finally hit the border, and the command was super simple. Go up and possess the land. But the people hesitate. They ask to send 12 spies ahead to scout the valley of Eshcol, and what happens next is just a masterclass in human self-sabotage. The spies come back with a totally split report. The physical reality? I mean, they brought back actual fruit, confirming yes, it is a good land. But psychological fear completely overrides the hard facts. The scouts start claiming the people are these massive giants, the sons of Anakims, and that the cities are walled up to heaven. This paralyzing fear spreads like wildfire, and it causes the entire camp to just outright rebel.
Moses really tried to encourage them. He reminded them that God had literally carried them, as a man doth bear his son, but they still just wouldn't buy it. And that brings a pretty devastating consequence. God is angered by this complete lack of faith, especially after everything he'd already done for them, so he dooms the entire generation with this crushing decree. Surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land.
But, hold on, there are a few absolutely crucial exceptions to this doom. Caleb gets to go in because he wholly followed the Lord. Joshua will actually be the one to lead Israel in. And most importantly, the little ones. The ultimate irony here? The adults had rebelled specifically because they were terrified their children would become prey. And now, it's exactly those children who were promised the land. Talk about a plot twist.
And that sets the stage for our tragic climax. Part 3, a disastrous defeat and the fatal presumption.
So, when the reality of their punishment finally sets in, the people completely flip. They strap on their weapons, presuming they're just going to go fight now, even after God explicitly warned them. Go not up, neither fight, for I am not among you. But out of sheer presumption, they march up the hill anyway. The Amorites come out against them, and the text paints this chaotic, frankly humiliating picture. They were chased as bees do. I mean, just imagine this stinging, total defeat all the way in Seir. It perfectly captures the disaster of first acting out of paralyzing fear, and then turning around and trying to manufacture success entirely on your own without any divine backing.
This completely defeated generation returns, and they're just weeping before the Lord, but he refuses to listen. They are stuck at Kadesh for many, many days. And that leaves us staring at this monumental cliffhanger to wrap up this explainer. Can the next generation succeed where their parents so utterly failed? The kids are inheriting this massive promise that their parents essentially threw away out of pure fear. Makes you wonder, what would you do if you were in their shoes?